Take two. 1, 2, 3, 4. Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. I want to see you. I want to see you. Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. I want to see you. I want to see you. To see you high and lifted up, shining in the light of your glory. Pour out your power and love as we sing, holy, holy, holy. Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. I want to see you. I want to see you. Sing it with us. Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. I want to see you. I want to see you. To see you high and lifted up, shining in the light of your glory. Pour out your power and love as we sing, holy, holy, holy. High and lifted up, shining in the light of your glory. Pour out your power and love as we sing, holy, holy, holy. Holy, holy, holy. Holy, holy, holy. Holy, holy, holy. I want to see you. Holy, holy, holy. Holy, holy, holy. Holy, holy, holy. I want to see you. Holy, holy, holy. Holy, holy, holy. Holy, holy, holy. I want to see you. Amen. Morning, Unity. Up on your feet as we sing our spirit song this morning. So happy to be here with you this morning. Let's do this.
Woke up this morning with my mind set on spirit. Woke up this morning with my mind set on spirit. Woke up this morning with my mind set on spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Come on. Walking and talking with my mind set on spirit. Walking and talking with my mind set on spirit. Walking and talking with my mind set on spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Woke up this morning with my mind, yeah, set on spirit, yeah. Woke up this morning with my mind, yeah, set on
much. And our host this morning, David Karg.
Great energy, everybody. Wow, way to go. Good morning. Welcome to Unity Naples Sunday service. And talk about a rockin' group here. Our music team, Amy, Jesse, Lynn, and Scott. What a group. Great sound. So I'm your host, David Karg, and we're delighted to be here back in our sanctuary. And as well as live streaming at home. Hello, everybody at home. Wave, yes. Nice to see everybody. So we continue to monitor the situation regarding the COVID-19 virus. We just thank you for your understanding and patience during this time. And we appreciate you adhering to the CDC guidelines, most importantly, wearing your mask, social distancing while on the campus. And if for any reason you need to exit the sanctuary during the service, please do so through the doors near the chapel. And at the end of the service, as you exit the sanctuary, please exercise social distancing. We'd really appreciate that, okay? If you are so inspired, you can lend a helping hand on Sundays by becoming a part of our Sacred Service ministry. Yes, you can sign up on our Sacred Service page on our website. You know, we appreciate you. Our volunteers absolutely make this beautiful, amazing worship experience possible. And thank you, volunteers, and thank you for volunteering. Yes. Whoa. And we're so fortunate this morning holding the vigil is our wonderful prayer chaplain, Lisa Munoz. Lisa, where are you? Okay, back there. She's holding, and what she's doing, she's sitting in meditation, maintaining an intentional inner awareness that love is all there is. Wow. And that our celebration service and all of us are under God's care. Beautiful. Thank you, Lisa. We are a social media friendly church. And throughout the service, feel free to use your social media platforms to share anything that inspires you or moves you. But please remember to do this all with your phones in the silent mode. And we always like to point out every week, because only in the silence can you hear whose voice? Yes, you got it. Okay. So in service, to keeping us connected during this time, Unity has just lots of ways to help you grow spiritually, from the comfort of your own home, maybe a coffee shop here on campus, wherever your happy place is, virtually everywhere, right? So check out our website and all our wonderful virtual offerings. Here are just a few. I'm going to mention a few. We have prayer and meditation live on the Unity Naples Facebook and YouTube at noon, Monday through Friday. And each day has a theme. And check out our website and Facebook page for more details. And then Wednesdays at 11 a.m. Is the Life Study Book Club with Reverend Eileen Chernow, currently studying the book Untethered Soul by Michael Singer. And this book study is offered online via Zoom, and the Zoom link is available in our e-newsletter, website, and social media. And if you haven't read the book, do yourself a favor. It's really, really a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful study. Every second Wednesday of the month, join us for a healing crystal bowl service facilitated by the very gifted Linda Collins. And CDC guidelines will be in place, and we will be socially distanced. We'll be wearing masks. Those will be required. And we also ask you, bring a mat if you'd like to lie down during this and really just kind of melt into this experience, because the sounds that Linda creates on these crystal bowls is fantastic. And it really gets you on that different, a higher plane of consciousness. So a $15 to $20 love offering is suggested. And we have Zumba with Lisa Richardson Mondays and Thursdays at 9 a.m. And these are going to be held in the parking lot. And social distancing, again, and CDC guidelines are in place. And a love offering is suggested. If you love gardening, who loves gardening here? We have any gardeners? Good, okay. So, Hey, we got an opportunity for you. If you love gardening, we are inviting you to help make the Unity grounds flourish. And let us know that you would like to serve through gardening. This will be a great opportunity to get together, work together, have some fellowship together, and make our grounds even more beautiful. And you can sign up and learn more on our Unity Naples website. Our bookstore and cafe, Higher Grounds, is open. Yes, it is open. Woohoo! And we are cautiously stepping into safe fellowship after services and raising funds for the next expression of Higher Grounds. So join us for coffee, snacks, socially distanced community connection. And there will be special sales. Stock your spiritual library at greatly reduced prices. Well, between services, I went over there. Of course, I found 2 books, 2 great deals, $6 on all these books. They're $15, $20 books. So I only bought 2, but trust me, I'm going to go over there again. There's really some great deals. So Unity Naples is a non-dimensional spiritual community anchored in loving acceptance. And if you are here with us for the first time, please know that whoever you are and wherever you are on your spiritual journey, you are truly welcome here. So I now sit back and breathe deeply as we take a moment to quiet our minds in meditation.
Thank you, David. All right, good morning. So before we take a deep dive in our inspiration for today, let's take a moment to quiet our minds. So I love when Mark invites us to look at the grounds, to look out at the beautiful lake, to simply just kind of tap into nature. It's like God's natural meditation music. And just take a breath and invite you to turn within with me. If you're comfortable, you can close your outer eyes. Make sure your feet are on the ground. Your back is erect but not rigid. Crown of your head gently reaching towards the heavens. And simply begin to take a few deep cleansing breaths. Inviting yourself to be here now. Open mind, open heart. Feeling your way into that space and place within you that is perfect, that is whole. That place within you that knows no past and no future. That place within you that knows your innocence, that knows your love. It is the very essence and presence of the divine, living itself as you. So as we tap into that presence, it's so easy to let the world just be. To know that we bring all this juiciness from the inside into our world on the outside. That we find ourselves in here. We find each other in here. It is this power, this presence that connects us one to another. It's the love between our souls, though we may have never met. Continue to breathe deeply. This life force, this breath, this prana, this chi. Notice that we are being breathed. Something is breathing us. Something is beating our hearts. Even more profoundly, something is beating all hearts and breathing all breath. And so in this connected, conscious state of being, we simply bless our time here together. If we are here, we're supposed to be here. And so we open to whatever good is here for us. We open to whatever blessing is here for us. And we open to whatever blessing we may give. So with open hearts, open minds, open souls, we just simply allow this time to unfold in its perfection. And so we let it be, and so it is. Amen. All right, so when you're ready, you can open your eyes and enjoy once again the inspiration of our music team.
Thank you, Rev Denise. So happy to share a little bit of baby news. We just found out a couple hours ago that Ellie's cannula was removed, so she's breathing 100% on her own right now. Really cool. Thank you very much. Thank you again for all your prayers. So a lot of changes going on for us, so we want to share with you an original song that we've been working on, and I want to share a little bit about the song. There's a memory for me that pops up a lot from years and years back. I had a conversation with a friend of mine who said that he admired how present I was, and I said, well, thank you, that's great. Why do you say that? And he said, well, you don't seem to worry about anything, and you don't seem to have any regrets. And I didn't know this at the time, but my secret was I did have worries, and I did have regrets. I just didn't talk about them because I thought that talking about them made them real. Now, I know now that keeping them inside and bottling them up makes them bigger and turns them into monsters. Releasing them is what brings healing. Fast forward now to Unity, and we're taught about the power of the now moment and how the past and the future aren't real. And my struggle has always been that I want to strong arm the past and the future away. I want to try to forget about the past and not think about the future. But we know when we try not to think about something, we think about it. We try not to regret something, it fills our every thought. Something that Patrick said in our first Artist Way class that really stuck with me, and it's so simple, just like the truth always is everything we did in the past happened in the now moment. Everything that we will do in the future happens in the now moment. So rather than trying to push those moments away, we embrace them as what they are, and it's just they're all part of this now moment. And we learned a couple weeks back that the best way to stay present is to always do your best. So this is a little bit of our best. This is a song that we've been working on called Now. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Don't have to worry, the past is forgiven, yesterday's over, tomorrow's unwritten. We're not gonna hurry, we'll get there somehow. The only moment that matters is now. Now, wonderful now, the home of the Spirit, the holiest ground. Now, glorious now, the only moment that matters is now.
You don't have to wait or hope for a reason. It's living inside you in every season. Your perfect creator, just let your guard down. The only moment that matters is now. Now, wonderful now, the home of the Spirit, the holiest ground. Now, glorious now, the only moment that matters is now.
Hum with us if you got it. Thank you.
Thank you. It's beautiful. When you hum, does it make your lips tingle? Yeah. So I couldn't really hum with you. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, local community. Good morning, global community. Welcome to Unity Naples. I'm so happy to be here with you today. We are continuing our journey of exploring the kingdoms of consciousness, which is one of my favorite things. Hopefully, you were all here last week for Reverend Mark's sharing of kingdom number 1. I'm here to share kingdom number 2 of 4, and I'll get into that in a moment. You know, this work is important because all of us are on a journey of awakening. All of us are moving, growing in consciousness, evolving in consciousness every day in every way. And if you're here, you clearly are about that, unless you have some other hidden reason for being here. But most people, if they're here, they are seeking. You know, we're seeking to grow and to evolve. I wanted to share with you a little bit the foundation, a foundational idea for moving through this work. And it's called, Reverend Michael Beckwith is the creator of the Four Kingdoms work. And he coins it involution and evolution. Now, involution is probably a new word for most people, but I can give you easily the spirit of the word. So, an acorn has involute within it what? An oak tree, right? So an acorn becomes an oak tree. This little tiny thing that you could barely see in my hand has everything it needs to become an oak tree, even though it's not obvious in the acorn. Now, clearly, there is an environmental component, but as there is with us as well, that like the acorn and the oak tree, you and I came into this incarnation with everything we need to be everything we're supposed to be. That so involute within that first precious moments, you had everything to be the unique, individualized expression of God that you are. And so we're not here to learn anything. We're not here to get anything. We're here to release and evolve. How would I word it? We're here to release everything in the way of our evolution, right? Because to be born as a human is to be born on a hamster wheel. So involution is that which is within the thing that causes to become what it's supposed to become. So the Four Kingdoms of Consciousness is the way, it's just a way of talking about how we move out of victim consciousness into mystical consciousness, how we grow into that experience and expression. And we want to grow into that experience and expression because that is it's going to be required for the world to work for all and for the world to work for us. So Ernest Holmes, so this particular, well, let me go over the Four Kingdoms, just to name them for those of you who aren't familiar with them. You know, it's also a process where we give up, we move out of an ego-driven life into a spirit-driven life. You know, in Kingdom 1 is the victim consciousness, which Reverend Mark went over last week. It's really categorized by, it's happening to me. The world is happening to me. I have no power, no will. Right? I'm at the effect of circumstances, people, places, conditions, my childhood, the politics, the government, my education, my priest, right? That I would be happy if it weren't for fill in the blank. And that's where 99% of all people spend most of their time, and it's not a pleasant place, right? Do you all agree? We've all been there, right? So that was Reverend Mark's last week. This week we're doing kingdom number 2, which is by me. So we move from it happening to me to I'm doing it to the world. And we'll talk about that more today. This is a really interesting step along the way that we sidestep sometimes. We want to go right from victim to mystic, and it really doesn't work because the ego hasn't gotten out of the car yet. So in kingdom number 1, the ego's driving your car and the spirit's asleep in the back seat. Kingdom number 2, the ego and spirit trade off on who's driving. And we'll tell you, that'll be clear by the end of today. We're going to talk about that today. Kingdom number 3 is through me, or instrument or channel consciousness, where it's to me, by me, through me is kingdom number 3, and kingdom number 4 is as me. So Jesus clearly walked this planet in an as me consciousness. God and I are one. The Buddha, God and I are one. Right? All of the great mystics, and Meister Eckhart, God and I are one. But for today, we're going to explore kingdom number 2. Now, so Ernest Holmes also said, so Ernest Holmes was the founder of the Science of Mind, and I'm a trained Science of Mind minister who happens to love unity. I've served many unity churches. Ernest Holmes used to describe God as both love and law. God's love and God's law. Kingdom number 1, there's not too much of an experience of God as a reality in general. That it's, there just isn't. Kingdom number 2 is primarily God's law. So it's going to feel a little scientific. You know, Ernest Holmes also said, won't it be a great day when science and religion walk hand in hand into the world? So kingdom number 2 is about the science, and it's the rule book of life. It's the instruction booklet that nobody got. It is, because if we knew how it worked around here, we'd have a way better experience. So we're just all on the hamster wheel doing what we were told to do, believing that if we did all those actions that we would be happy, peaceful, wealthy, wise, and whatever. Nobody really said, well, no, there are some things you should really know. So as an example, gravity is a physical law. Yes, everyone knows gravity. We don't worship gravity. Nobody doesn't believe in gravity. Nobody gives their opinion about gravity. Gravity, by the way, doesn't care if you like it or not, if you believe in it or not. Gravity doesn't care if you're a good person or a bad person, a saint or a sinner. Gravity just works all the time for everybody, exactly the same, no ifs, ands, or buts. So like with all physical laws, you and I are in harmony with it. We cooperate with the physical law of gravity. Are you with me? So, and how do we cooperate? We don't walk off cliffs. And, you know, some of you are really belligerent, and you think, well, I think gravity sucks. I don't believe in it. Watch me. Well, good luck. Physical laws also exist, and they've always existed. So electricity was always here. Now, cavemen didn't know that. Didn't mean it wasn't here. We, human beings, did not create physical laws. We simply observe them. We learn about them. And then we figure out how to use them. There are, and by the way, the discovery of electricity and the utilization of electricity was a function of human evolution. Can you see that? As we evolved as a species, we then began to notice things we couldn't notice from a less evolved state of being. Humanity is now in a place where we are discovering spiritual or mental laws, non-physical laws. We are discovering them and figuring out how to use them in order to enhance our life experience. Jesus knew about them. He taught us them. It is done unto you as you believe. That's a law. That is a mental law. We'll go over some of them in a minute. So today, we want to learn, or at least open our minds to this idea that we live in a universe that is governed by mental laws. Now, the physical universe, we have bodies with which to enjoy and to participate physically with the universe. Yes, sight, we can see it, we can smell it, taste it, feel it, hear it. We also have mental faculties with which we can participate with the mental laws and principles. We have thought, beliefs, intention, will, imagination. All of those qualities let us move into manifestor consciousness, or kingdom number 2. The sooner we believe this and the sooner we get in harmony with these spiritual laws, the sooner we begin to have more co-creative capacity with our environment. This kingdom number 2 is also often called called the law. So I just welcome you to the yellow brick road. Right, we step out on, you're not in Kansas when you move into kingdom number 2, you are not in Kansas anymore. I guess that's kind of funny, right? Yes, you're just not in, so Reverend Mark shared last week that to move out of kingdom number 1, which is a big movement, by the way, some of us, it takes years for us to really complete that experience of victimhood, to release and move forward in your own spiritual awakening, we have to give up blame, shame, regret. You just have to let them go, right? Because blame, shame, regret keeps you in victimhood. It keeps the ego driving your car. It keeps you off the pathway of your own awakening. And he also shared that the power word for the movement from kingdom 1 to 2 is responsibility. And by the way, I don't know about all of you, but my childhood was no piece of cake either. And it was really easy for many, many years to say, I'd be a happy person if only my parents didn't get divorced. I could find real love if only my first, third, I don't know which husband, whichever husband had only not done what he did, right? Or I'd really have a really peace-filled life if I didn't have this physical challenge. All of that keeps us from evolving. So we have to take responsibility. The power word for movement is responsibility, because we are grown people now, and your happy life is in your hands, no longer in your mother's hands, no longer in the priest's hands. It's in our hands. We get to decide. Who am I to be? Because remember, the oak tree that you are is already in there. You don't have to put it there. You have to let it grow. So, on the yellow brick road, we are moving. It is the rule book. It is the home of learning how to use the spiritual mental laws and principles, which, by the way, are no different than gravity. And it's not like you choose to use them. You're not over there going, I think I'll use the law of attraction today. You've been using the law of attraction your whole life. It's like gravity. It just is what it is. So it's not the awareness. And by the way, you probably can't really catch this intellectually. You have to catch it in consciousness, And I have to tell you that when I first heard these words spoken by Dr. Michael Beckwith, who created this way of talking about it, this work, I was so relieved. It's like, OMG. The power is in my hands. In Kingdom 2, the power is in your hands, because you learn about these spiritual laws and principles and how to use them and be in harmony with them. And the law of reciprocity is just like gravity. It doesn't care if you believe in it or not, right? So when we look at our outer circumstances and we don't like them, well, just know that these laws of creation, these creative principles, have been used incorrectly or in ways that you don't want to go, but that we can, in any moment, change that by changing our thinking, changing our beliefs, harnessing our mind. We have will. Rocks, tigers, giraffes, and petunias have no will. They make no decisions. They have no co-creative capacities. They live by instinct alone. They exist, all made of God. Everything, God is everywhere. There's no place where God is not. But you and I are like this close to angels because we decide, we think, we ruminate, we regret, we create, we have anticipation. So we're going to learn about those today. Now also, keep in mind that it's not like we graduate to Kingdom 2. It's like, today I'm a victim, tomorrow I'm a victor. Today I'm a victim, tomorrow I'm a victor. Oh, and then the day after that, I'm a channeler of the divine. It goes more like this: victim, manifester, victim, victim, manifester, 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 victim, 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 right? Because it took us a lot of years, 29 years to get where we are. 29 years to get our belief systems, to get our subconscious, unconscious in the place that it is. It's taken us a long time to get this, the ego, to get us, the persona solid. It can take time to undo that, to release all that. And part of it is possibility, like just believe in possibility. It's not true that you can't change. It's not true the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. It's not true that you are what you are. It's not true. What you are is an individualized expression of God, becoming that. But you are that now, letting go of what's not that. Okay, did you follow that? Because I'm not sure I did. It's all right, we'll just let it be there. So the point being, be patient with yourself, because Dorothy was on the yellow brick road for a long time, looking, right? Bumping up against courage, bumping up against all of the things she bumped up against. So incrementally, we go out and we say, wow, I'm feeling like a victim today. Let me use the resources I have to turn that around, to change that, to think a new thought about it. So let's explore some of the mental laws and principles. Just to, I don't want to dive too deep into them, but and these aren't all of them, they're just really my understanding of them. So all of you probably have heard about the law of attraction, yes? And it's not hard. It's really, in fact, these things are so simple in some ways, but so hard to live. But the law of attraction simply says that what you bring into your experience comes to you by attraction, not by luck, not by fate, not by somebody else's thing, but by your consciousness. So when we're in Kingdom 1, it's hallmarked by worry, doubt, lack, fear, right? Kingdom 1 has those kinds of energies. And if you are living in fear, the experiences you experience that come to you are going to reflect that. If you're living in faith, the experiences are going to reflect that. So law of attraction simply just says, if you're just a really cranky, mean, spiteful 29-year-old, there is no way that you're going to bring into your life the man or woman of your dreams, who's kind, considerate, loving, patient, because if you're not that, you can't have that. Do you understand what I'm saying? And even if you do get that, they won't stay with you very long, because they're going to say, oh, no, right? So law of attraction. So then we have the law of deliberate creation, which is a law that says, deliberate's the key word here. What we do before we're deliberate is we do automatic, subconscious, unconscious creation that we create by default. We create whatever's in, I think Reverend Mark calls it the basement or the dungeon of the subconscious, unconscious, that it's always creating, but it's not deliberate. So deliberate creation says, I'm going to plant this seed into the fertile soil of the universe, and then I'm going to give it the environment it needs to grow. So I'm going to give up being afraid, and I'm going to start cultivating faith. So I'm going to plant the seed of faith, and then I'm going to do what it takes to step into that. Water it, sunshine, stop having fearful conversations, right? Stop, whatever it is, whether it's a book, a class, being in fellowship with each other, but it's deliberate. Mental equivalence essentially says you can't have anything you can't conceive yourself having. So if you're a person who lives in, nobody will ever love me, I'm not lovable, you can't really have that until you decide that you are. It's called the law of mental equivalence. If you think you're worth $20,000 a year, the chances of you getting 120 are slim, right? If you think you're worth $120,000 a year, the chances of you getting it are way better. So there's a saying that says, a mind once stretched can't go back to its original shape. It's like that. So a lot of the times when we're in classes, whether it's a prosperity class or a class on relationships or a class, like Patrick's class on creativity, we're stretching ourselves like a rubber band so that we can have more, do more, and be more. Law of attention simply says what you give your attention to grows, where you take your attention away, it shrinks. There were these wonderful studies where they had people praying over plants, and the plants that got prayed for grew, and the plants that did not grow as much. So it's the law of attention, energy. Do not think that energy is not real. We were raised to think only mountains are real. If you can't see it, it isn't real. If it's in the internet, it's true. So we are evolving into a space where that which is invisible is more powerful, more potent, more profound, and more important than what is visible. We are getting to a stage where we understand that what's visible comes from what's invisible, and you and I, the tool of creation is our minds and our intentions. All right, reciprocity just simply means we live in a reciprocal universe. You give me love, I give you love. You give me respect, I give you respect. You give me generosity, I give you generosity. It's just a law of reciprocity. It's also, we probably know it through our studies as a law of reaping and sowing, giving and receiving. And then, of course, visualization is keeping something in mind. How many of you have ever done vision boards? Yeah, it's a really wonderful use of this law where you cut out pictures of a magazine of all the things you want in your life next year or in the future, like cars or vacations or people, and you put them on a board, and then you be with that board, right? You let it work on your consciousness. It's called the law of visualization. So physical laws use your body, mental laws use your mind. And you are not a rock, so you have a mind and a body. And part of spiritual maturity is to learn how to use them both properly so that you're happy and that we have a world that works. Yes? Are you guys following me? Okay. So the release, now this is a really big idea. If you're hearing something like this for the first time, this is a huge idea. So just catch it in consciousness and just let it be what it is. And over time, again, it will grow, it will alter, more shall be revealed. So the releasing of Kingdom 1 to 2 was shame, blame, and regret, or guilt. In order to move to Kingdom 2, you cannot bring your past with you. You have to step into 2 with a kind of a willingness to experiment, an openness to a new idea, some possibility. The movement from Kingdom 2 to Kingdom 3, which Reverend Mark will cover next week, Kingdom 3 more thoroughly, but Kingdom 1 is to me, the world's doing it to me. Kingdom 2 is I'm doing it to the world. And Kingdom 3 is through me. So no will, my will, thy will. So the release, what you have to give up to move into Kingdom 3 is immaturity, materialism, and grandiosity. Sounds like a lot to give up, doesn't it? Materialism, by the way, doesn't mean you have to give up your car. It simply means that, by the way, and if you're 49, not 29, we almost all, remember Peggy Lee's song, Is This All There Is? Do you remember that song? After the mastery of Kingdom 2, which, by the way, is necessary to stabilize your life structures, meaning that when we're in victim consciousness, for most of us, all areas or some areas of our life are a mess. Whether it's your body, your relationships, your work, your creativity, your happiness. Are you all feeling this? Like something, like it's hard to just get it all together, because unless the outer circumstances are perfect, it can't be good. It can't be perfect. So, material, it's tempting in Kingdom 2 to get really, say, oh my God, I just manifested a new house. Oh my God, look, everything on my vision board came true. But if you want a closer relationship with God, a closer, remember Ernest Holmes called it love and law. 1, ego's driving the car. 2 is really about the rule book of life, the yellow brick road, learning how it works around here. And then level 3, you begin to care less about the car and more about the spiritual qualities, that a closer walk with whatever God means to you, whatever that higher power is for you. Grandiosity is purely just as, I mentioned already, it's this idea that we think that we invented gravity, or that we founded electricity, or that we somehow have something to do with the awe and the wonder and the majesty and the beauty that's surrounding us, and we have nothing to do with it. Now, we can make beautiful things, truly. An artist can draw a beautiful painting. We're not talking about that. We're talking about, as beings, we're here. And by the way, any truly beautiful painting was in Kingdom 3 or 4, not in Kingdom 1 or 2, really. Because you begin to channel, we channel spirit through our music, through our writing, through our speaking. So we just give up immaturity, spiritual immaturity, which, by the way, we do here, right? That we've pretty much kind of given up that God's a man on a white cloud with a beard, judging us, punishing us, rewarding us. It's nothing to be afraid. That idea is an immature spiritual idea, and we're growing in our awareness that God is so much, whatever it is, it's a little unknowable and mysterious in my mind, but we're growing. So, the power word from Kingdom 1 to Kingdom 2 is responsibility, and the power word from Kingdom 2 to Kingdom 3 is a word we all mostly don't like too much, but is surrender. The power word for moving from manifestor consciousness to instrument consciousness is surrender. So Michael Beckwith said, you may feel nervous about the idea of surrender. You may think you are surrendering to an anthropomorphic God that is going to determine its own will for you. He says surrender is not acquiescing to an external deity. Surrendering is yielding to excellence, to the next stage of your evolution. It is the surrendering to the lesser you, to the greater you, to the mediocre you, to the excellent you, to the fearful you, to the faithful you. Surrendering is saying, in my mind, bring it on. I can't see it, but bring it on. Bring on more peace, more love, more generosity, more compassion, more kindness. Yes? So Ernest Holmes said, I'll read you this from the Science of Mind textbook. He said, regarding the laws, let us then approach mental law with awe, but not with any sense that we are unworthy. Let us approach it normally, happily, willing to accept it, glad to experiment with it, believing that as a result of our efforts, we shall derive a great good, a better understanding of the natural laws of life as they apply to us and to our relationship to the universal scheme of things. So it may be, here's my prayer. My fervent prayer is that everyone on the planet moves into level 2. And that they evolve up to an awareness of the rules of life. Because if they did, there would be no more war, no more hunger, no more violence, no more abuse, no more addiction. And not because Kingdom 2 is so spiritual, but because to get to Kingdom 2 and to live there, you have to give up the cause of all of those things, which is shame, blame, and guilt. So a world without shame, blame, and guilt is a world we want to live in. Some of us will continue to move into mysticism. Some of us will continue to become lovers of God, therefore lovers of humanity. But you don't have to be a religious soul to learn the rule book and to get onto the yellow brick road. And so it is. Let us pray. I hope it wasn't too much. It's a lot. All right, so let us just turn within. Once again, let us end right where we began, which is in this internal space and place. Bless you. This internal home of the divine. The place within us that is innocent. The place within us that is whole and perfect. The place within us that is free of the past. This place within us that is in a co-creative, expressive and expansive relationship with that which created everything. The creator of gravity, the creator of the law of attraction, the creator of the flower, the lion, the giraffe, and the rock. We are that. We are that. We are so that. So not only can we experience, but we can create. And in fact, what we experience is what we created. So we take responsibility now. We grow up now. We say yes to being in harmony with these laws of life. I know that the word I speak moves into a universe that moves molecules around, that the word that I speak begins to clothe itself in flesh. And so the word that I speak for us is a power word. We surrender to it. We say yes to it. We get in harmony with it. So I know that all of the ailments of the victim state of consciousness are healed. Our bodies vibrate. Our money populates. Our relationships flourish. That we become kind, compassionate, loving human beings. All of our life structures stabilized. And then we say, now what? What can I do now? Now that all that little stuff is done, now how can I serve the greater? So I am grateful. I'm just so grateful we have the opportunity to change our minds, to grow out of any idea that we are unworthy, unlovable, that we step into the fullness of that which we have always been, God involute in us. And we have a whole lifetime to evolve. And so we plant that seed, we water it with our attention, we shine the light of our love on it. We create the environment that allows that seed of our true identity to grow into the oak trees that we are. And so in gratitude, I just simply release this word in full faith and conviction that it is even now being manifested. And I have patience. It doesn't have to be today. I have patience. I can leave this time of prayer with you, expecting and accepting the fulfillment. And so knowing in this moment that that is true, all is well with our souls. So please join me in affirming this for yourself, saying yes to this for yourself and for each other. Simply knowing that as we do this, we enter into a realm in which this world we want to work can actually work. And so we give thanks for this. We let this be. We let it be. We say, and so it is. Amen.
They said I am a dreamer, and I'm not the only one.
A legendary song by a legendary man, sung by legendary people in our church. Thank you both. All right, so now is our time for giving, for supporting this amazing community, spiritual community. It's absolutely necessary in your evolution, all of our evolutions, to be with people who want what we want, who think how we think. And the truth is, Unity of Naples is here because of you. And because of your generosity, your sacred service, because of the community and the connections that you are. So we appreciate all that you can give as we continue to move our way through this time in our history, our collective history. And Dave is going to come up and tell you how to do that. Yeah? Thank you.
So I have the privilege of telling you the ways to give. And thank you very much, Reverend Denise, for that. So first, you can give through our website at unitynaples.org/giving, and there you will find a Donate Now button. You can we also have the option to give through text, and you send the word GIVE to 239-230-4704. I'll repeat that, 239-230-4704. Now, if it's your first time giving through text, you will receive a link with setup instructions. It's really easy. They walk you right through it. But if you've given before, you're already set up. All you do is put the word give in the text. They ask what amount do you want to donate, and that's it. And if you sign up for it, you can also receive an emailed receipt for your gift, right? It's immediate. And you can always just mail a check to us here at Unity Naples at 2000 Unity Way, Naples, Florida, 34112. And for anyone giving cash or check here in the sanctuary today, please place your gift in the drop boxes as you exit. Now back to our great music team for some musical inspiration. Yes, we're ready.
Grateful, I'm grateful, I'm grateful. Grateful, I'm grateful, I'm grateful. My gift to you is gratitude. Oh, yes, I'm grateful. Oh, yes, I'm grateful.
Oh, and so we give thanks for the gifts given. We give thanks for the generosity, the love, the joy that gives them, for truly whatever we give in joy, whatever we give in love, whatever we give with generosity raises that which it was given to. So I bless this Unity Naples community. I bless each one of us as we come together and we grow and glow for God. And I know that the giver and the receiver are both blessed. We are grateful.
Oh, yes, I'm grateful. Oh, yes, I'm grateful.
Thank you all so much. Before I give it back to David, just want to invite you over to the bookstore. Is open. Higher Grounds is open. We're very excited. So please stop by. Beautiful greeting cards, $1. No, $1. Gorgeous greeting cards. Anyway, my main thing for staying up is to invite you on February 28th, 12:30 to 2:30 is Unity's annual meeting. Now, I'm like most annual meetings are a big snore if you ask me, but this year we're creating a huge context for meaningful membership. We're going to briefly look at what happened last year during COVID. We all know what happened last year during COVID, right? We all know, but we'll review it a little bit. The finances, if you're a voting member, you do not have to be a member to come to the annual meeting. We'll do some visioning and co-creating using these spiritual laws to create an outrageous 2021 for all of us. So that's 2 weeks from today, right after the second service. David. Okay.
Okay, so please know this. We are here for you. That is you, every one of you. And we want to stay connected to you, and we ask for your help in doing this. So please be sure to like our Facebook page at facebook.com/Unity of Naples. Please go to our page often to receive the latest updates. We're constantly updating that website at Facebook. Additionally, you can join our private Unity Naples Facebook group. It's a wonderful virtual way to connect and share with other Unity Naples community members. Learn about our virtual classes and events, watch our inspirational videos, live streaming, participate and connect with our amazing community. There's really a lot on there and a lot to do. A lot of good information. And make sure that we have your email. If you're not receiving anything from Unity Naples email, we probably don't have your email. So if you would take the time to go on our website, naplesunity.org, where you will find a place to register your email. And that way you can be sure to get the latest updates that we send out. And if you're affected by this current health crisis or are experiencing challenges and you would like prayer support, prayer is good. So if you'd like prayer support, we'll do our best. Just leave your name and number, call our office. We'll do our best to call back within 24 hours. And our office number is 239-775-3009. Or we now have a prayer hotline. So, on the internet, it's prayer@unitynaples.org. Once again, prayer@unitynaples.org, and someone will get back to you. So we'd like to welcome any newcomers or visitors today. Is there anyone here for the first time today, by any chance? Do I see any? Oh, yes, thank you for joining us. Welcome. So when you exit the sanctuary, we have a nice gift for you on the back table, and there'll be a volunteer there to help you. So please accept that gift as our appreciation for you joining us today. And so, once again, please remember at the end of the service to exit the sanctuary, social distancing through the doors in the back of the sanctuary. So I guess that's... some more music, yes, okay.
Please rise as we
Love
sing our
the
closing
music.
song. Sing along at home as well. Blessed always.
Blessed always, blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say amen. Let's hear you. Blessed always, for the arms of God surround us. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say amen.
And so join with me one last time with your big yes to the universe, yes to the yellow brick road, yes to your evolution, yes to co-creating a world that works for all.
Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say amen.
The light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is. All is well. Thank you, community, so much. Thank you.
say